Okay, for reals. This is gonna be our last video here, so I think we should really figure out what we're gonna do.
Okay, well, we've already done a music video, a news report, and an entire skit. I mean, what else is there?
I like movies. Let's do a movies.
That's a good idea, but what movie are we gonna do?
It's a good point.
The theme is stars.
Oh, Bringo! We got lamps. Lamps.
Yes. But the theme is stars. So we should do Star Wars. Listen to this. Listen to this, right?
June. Luke, I am your son. I'm Elliot.
That was
good.
Yeah. Handsome actors, good acting. No? About that. Yeah.
No, that's dumb. Star Wars is just all action. What about The Fault in Our Stars? That's some very emotional stuff. Picture this. What's your name? Jocelyn. Why are you staring at me?
Because you need Jesus.
Wow, yeah, that was good, but got kind of dark, didn't it? The storyline was plot holes everywhere. It was all over the place, really.
In that case, why don't we do something a little more lighthearted, like To All the Boys I've Loved Before?
Ooh, what if we did like this? Instead of Laura Jean writing letters to each of her crushes, she writes one to each of herself in freshman, sophomore, junior about stuff that she learned.
That sounds good, but how would it go?
Okay, something like this.
Emily.
Emily, you okay?
What happened?
You fainted.
Oh.
Okay, let me start over. My name is Emily Chow. I've always been comfortable in my own thoughts. No one really had to know what I was thinking. I write a letter when I learn something so important in my life that I don't know what else to do. There are 3 in total. To my freshman year, my sophomore year, and my junior year. What are you doing? Nothing. Nobody else knows about them.
Hey, can I talk to you real quick?
Me?
So I really appreciate this, but I don't really understand the meaning to it.
I'm sorry, what?
I got this in my locker, and it was addressed to a freshman, and it was super sweet, but I just don't really understand, and freshman, but it was really sweet, and law is on out.
Oh my gosh. The letters are out. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. You weren't supposed to get those letters.
But it says Dear Freshman, so I felt like it was addressed to me.
I know, but it's a letter to my old self, and I don't really want anyone to see it. They weren't supposed to get out.
Well, you know, it's decent stuff. Instead of hiding it, why don't you share it with the college ministry and help us all out?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you feel like your letters help the college ministry?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that was, man, that made me feel really old, and it was really good. It's definitely a movie I'd watch, but what would the letters actually say?
Dear freshmen, it's all going downhill from here, so get ready.
Sophomore year, it's coming.
What is one piece of advice you would give to the freshmen?
One? I have multiple.
Just kidding. Yeah.
Pray more. And pray every day. Pray for what you think is the stupid stuff. You know, pray when you wash the dishes that you're not that upset with your roommates. Pray that pray that your tests will go fine. I think just have a very continuous relationship with God.
Don't be afraid to take risks. As a freshman and sophomore, you guys have all the time in the world. Technically, you can still switch majors, so really follow your passion. Check out leadership. Yeah, core team is really cool. So if you guys have the opportunity to, definitely check that out.
I think something I've learned throughout these 4 years is, just learning how to carry each other's burdens, caring for people, but at the same time letting God use them to minister to me too. And then I just found so much joy in community and these relationships.
Don't always be in a receiving mode. Just because you're a freshman doesn't mean that you're tiny or little and you don't have much experience or you just can't serve people. Yes, you can! You can serve people.
It's kind of intimidating when there's so many people that are older than you now, especially after coming out of maybe like a youth group or being like the oldest person in high school. In that moment of change, just don't be afraid to really just ask the Lord for help and ask the Lord for just a lot of boldness in whatever you do.
I think the excitement of college would make you want to do like a lot of things or everything that you can, but I think you don't realize down the line that it can take a toll. Just take things easy. Just know what priorities are the most important in your life. Just knowing to take quiet time, knowing to talk to brothers and sisters, and also just building your disciplines. It's a good way so that it becomes like a habit in the future.
Dear sophomores, you're almost juniors now, which means you're basically the upperclassmen. The younger ones are going to look up to you, and it's tough sometimes. I gotta be honest. You gotta set an example and you gotta lead. But at the same time, it's okay to not take life so seriously. It's okay to have some fun and to relax too.
So this is how it's gonna be. You're in the church and you know that you have to love each other and that you have to love your neighbor. And it's going to be so hard. It's gonna be so hard. When you feel mad at someone, pray for them. Love when it's hardest to love, because it's not gonna get easier. Like if anything, this is the best time to do that with these people, and you're all in the same family. And I mean, you don't gotta be friends with everyone, but you gotta love.
Sophomore year is definitely an interesting one because I feel like while for some the transition can be pretty smooth, I think for many others, including myself, it was kind of jarring actually compared to the first year. Because I think as a freshman year, you kind of get like a little bit babied, and then your sophomore year, you're kind of just like, what's happening, and there's a little bit of that transition. And I don't mean that to scare y'all, that kind of leads me to this point, which is to not be afraid to ask questions. It's okay to ask questions, it's okay to ask for prayer, and to ask for help.
Sophomore year, kind of the novelty of college has worn off, kind of getting into a rhythm. So I think it's important to still step out of your comfort zone and meet up with people regularly and really form that community. So I think that's something that I'm going to carry with me even after I leave college.
I think for sophomores, it's when you first start serving, and I remember that I felt kind of burnt out. So I think that it's really good to just simply like delight in God and let the love of God really drive you to like love other people and don't feel like you have to be perfect or don't strive to make morality like your goal, but instead to like love God and just to be happy in Him. I think that causes you to just like overflow out to other people. So
just know that you're loved and that you're cared for. It might not seem like it, but pragmatically, just ask someone to talk. I know this is something I struggle with a lot. I would just be frustrated. I wouldn't want to talk to people. Just ask them to talk, and you know, people will talk. People do care for you. People do love you, and sometimes all it takes is just sticking your foot in the door a little bit just to realize that.
My advice for the sophomores is that you will have spiritual pain. Pain is real, but so is hope. And if you believe in Jesus, like that will just ultimately lead you to freedom. So just remember to pray and just ask God to just provide everything. And you have a community here at Kairos, so just lean on to those that are close to you.
Dear juniors, so as you're going into your senior year, it's very tempting to want to plan everything after graduation, whether your job, whether where you're going to be after graduation, but just know that there's absolutely no way you will figure that out all on your own. So just really take this year to practice your trust and your faith in the Lord and really trust that He will provide what's best for you after graduation.
Yeah, senior year can be really chill, or it can also be really stressful with all the like graduation coming up, job search, stuff like that coming up. So it is easy to get overwhelmed, it is easy to lose sight of stuff, but don't stress out too much. You know, God will provide you with the job. Just trust that He will provide. Continue praying, continue looking. But definitely put in the effort, but don't let it get to you.
So one thing I really learned in junior year was that no matter how much success you get within your major, however many internships you get, or how prestigious the company you end up getting a full-time job at is, none of that really matters in the grand scheme of things, and compared to like the memories you make with friends and the time that you spend with them, that's so much more memorable. Like once you leave for X amount of months, even just in the middle of the year, like someone I know, you're really going to remember your friends and not the times you spent studying or stressing over the internships and stuff like that.
I know you guys have been really swamped with work, whether it's school, whether it's extracurricular activities, or even just serving at church. Yeah, I think senior year is a good year to dial it back a little. Try to relax a little bit more and really take that time to find yourself and find out what God's calling for you is.
So I guess junior year, it's really easy to feel like you're being surrounded by God when you're really plugged into your church and you're encapsulated inside your ministries. But in reality, you forget to take the quiet times with God to really be able to listen in and hone in on what He's trying to say to you, and really just Him letting you know that there's rest there for you, especially with like the craziness that happens in junior year with internships and stuff. So my advice would really just be to make that time intentional, even if it's like 10 minutes a day or like once a week for whatever you can do. Really just to simmer down a little bit and just leave that space open for you and God.